There's one more step before you can collect your well-earned payment from Rocky Jupiter. Integrate the numbered workflow forms in the dashboard form itself. In this section, you'll be learning how to chain forms. The workflow you have set up for Rocky Jupiter drivers is a very good start, but there are two key issues with it. The task list is duplicated. The driver checks the deliveries on the dashboard form and then accesses the same ones in the workflow forms. This is an inconvenience to the driver. Plus, there is nothing stopping the driver from confirming a task while another task is still active. Even though the business process clearly specifies that there should be only one active delivery task per driver at one time. Let's try and remove all the unnecessary elements from the form and make the workflow deactivate all the tasks that the driver is not engaged with. The dashboard already lists the delivery tasks that are assigned to the driver. If you add a close button, you won't even need the confirm task form anymore, so delete it. Open the dashboard form in the text editor. The close button will take up a whole column. Problem is, there's no room for another one. You need to get rid of one to make the close button fit. The task status column seems like the least important. The text of the close button will inform the driver about the task status anyway. Mercilessly remove the task status column. In the dashboard panel's generator query, add an in clause that makes the query only return the tasks with the status values assigned, confirmed, and loaded. The dashboard form should not distract the driver, so you will only display his or her active and assigned tasks, and put the active ones on top. The confirm task form that you got rid of supplied the IDs of confirmed delivery tasks to the workflow script. The script still needs this ID to work, so you'll need to pull the assignment ID column into the dashboard form itself. Modify the dashboard panel query statement to include this new column. The references of both the client and the address controls also need to be updated because of the change. The confirm panel dynamic list control inside the dashboard panel is an extra column for the close button controls. The generator query statement looks a bit complex. It filters the assigned task and includes an exist condition with a subquery. It makes sure that the close button is only generated in the dynamic list control if the driver has no confirmed or loaded status tasks assigned to him or her. This means that a confirm button does not appear in the dashboard form while there is an active delivery task. The refarg references the status field in the dashboard panel's generator query. The confirm panel template contains the confirm close button. And a hidden label for the assignment ID. The assignment ID column is what the workflow script will use to find out which row needs to be updated. Save the form. The confirm close button will only work if you associate the confirm.rfs script with the dashboard form and let the script know exactly which reference table row to update. Modify the name of the triggering form. Address the assignment ID hidden label in the update method. It is the sibling element of the control that the driver used to submit the form, so you address it in the script using the control submit property. Save the workflow script and publish your solution. When you start the client app, you'll see a number of assigned status delivery tasks in the dashboard form, each with its own confirm button. Tap one, and when the dashboard form syncs, you'll see all of the confirm buttons disappear. Don't worry, this actually means that your form and script are working together properly. The status of the delivery task has been changed to confirmed, and so the close button is not generated next to it. The only problem is that you have no other close buttons to access the load and unload workflow forms. Sure, you've got the load and unload forms over at the side, but once you start using a close button to move along within the workflow, you really should stick to close button controls for all the further workflow steps as well. You will make sure that the driver can access the load and unload forms when the workflow process gets as far as loading and delivery. You need to stick a close button into the dashboard form for each of the 2 workflow forms to open them, and make these buttons appear only when there's a confirmed or loaded status delivery task assigned to the driver. Insert 2 new dynamic list control panels inside the Actions panel to generate the load and delivery buttons. Name them Load Panel and Unload Panel. Use the Action equals discard form attribute of the close button because you don't want to submit the dashboard form this time when you tap these buttons, but you want to open the form that you specify in the next form name attribute. The next form name attribute makes form chaining happen. For safety's sake, to make sure that even if there is no close button to display, every delivery task listing in your new dashboard form always has 3 columns, it's best practice to include a spacer panel too. Name it Default. The template for this spacer panel is an empty label control. All this does is make sure that the columns in the dashboard never pile up or run into each other, no matter what. The query statement for this default dynamic list control combines the query statements of all of the others with OR operator and prefixes the whole series with not. This makes sure that its template will be generated in the dashboard form when none of the close button panels are present. You don't need to modify the workflow scripts for either of these forms. You're all done at this point. Save the dashboard form, the workflow scripts, and both of the forms and their associated artifacts you've created so far, and publish. Walk through the workflow you've created on your device. Tap the Confirm button on the dashboard form to change the status of the task to Confirmed. The form will now display the Load the Cargo Close button next to the single task with confirmed status. The complex query statement of the Confirm panel control makes sure that the other assigned status tasks now don't have a close button displayed next to them. Tap the Load the Cargo button, fill in and submit the load form. And to finish the workflow, tap the Deliver Cargo button and fill in the complete delivery form.